Do you dream of being viewed as an expert authority in your industry? Do you just know that if you could get publicity for your business, publicity for your expertise, that you could deliver a bigger impact and create more revenue? But instead, maybe you feel like you're grinding away in obscurity, waiting for that chance to break through the noise. If that sounds at all familiar, then keep watching because I'm going to let you in on the biggest secret in the publicity, PR, digital marketing space. Something that none of the agencies, consultants, PR bigwigs, anyone that you would hire are going to tell you. I'm Kasey Jones, and I'm a growth coach to entrepreneurs of all kinds. I empower them to harness the power of what makes them different, to build their authority as experts in their industry and create high growth businesses with impact. So if you are ready to supercharge your status as an expert and a thought leader so that you can build an amazing business that has a real impact on your community and your life, then click to subscribe so you can be notified every week when I share a new video. And if you are interested in learning how to pitch yourselves to podcasts, how to land those interviews to grow your authority, then click the link in the description and download my absolutely free guide that's going to show you exactly how to do that. We've heard for years and from dozens of influencers, many of whom I know, respect, follow, look up to, that the secret to becoming a big deal in your industry is to land guest posts in places like Business Insider or the Huffington Post. But let me ask you, when is the last time you even read an article in Business Insider or the Huffington Post? And when is the last time you noticed who wrote it or clicked through to their website? Yeah, me neither. I can't even remember a time. Now, look, there's a new way to supercharge your brand exposure and your status as a thought leader. It's being a podcast guest, not doing guest posts, guest podcasting. Okay, there's actually 7 reasons why being a podcast guest is so darn powerful and so much more effective than guest blogging. Okay, so let's dive in. Number 1, you're getting interviewed by another thought leader in your space. That gives you instant credibility, right? While guest blogs definitely give you credibility, the interviews do it in a much more personal way where people actually get to know you and they get to like you and they get to identify with you. They're going to learn a lot more than some super high level listicle blog post that you're going to wind up getting posted someplace else. Number 2, you're gaining exposure to the audience that they've worked hard to build, right? These people are big time thought leaders. They've spent years building their expertise, building their authority. And so that helps you build that instant brand awareness, that instant trust, and an instant following. There's nothing more intimate than a video or audio conversation. So that gives you 30, 45, sometimes 60 minutes to wow the audience and make a real connection to the listeners. Guest posts, on the other hand, are super impersonal. Okay, oftentimes we don't even notice who wrote the piece and we rarely click through to their site. And that's something that has changed. I think that was different a few years ago, but people just aren't engaging with blog content in the same way that they used to. People are engaging with video content, audio content at a much, much higher level. Okay, so number 3, when you do one of these interviews, you create amazing content, audio and now usually video too. So you can turn that into a bunch of other content for even more exposure, right? You can take audio and video clips and put them all over social. You can create a social media image with a great quote that links back to the interview. You can tag the host, you can tag the show. You can even, if it's done right, you can tag other guests so that you're getting exposure to all of their audiences on social media. You can write a blog post with the video or audio embedded in it and even get the transcript so that you get all of those rich keywords for SEO. So guest blogs, on the other hand, you get one piece of content, period, end of story. You get that blog. And you're usually forbidden from reposting it at all. So if you promote it, you're driving traffic to someone else's site instead of yours. The thing with guest posts is you're relying on them to promote it. And I don't know about you, but I want more control in my hands. I want to be able to do more, to chart my course, to shape my destiny and build my business. So, are you ready to be an expert in your industry? If so, share in the comments what you want to be known for. What do you do? How do you do it differently? Let's start a whole conversation where we can learn from one another and support one another as we're all growing our expertise and our authority. I'm really excited to learn about all of you. Okay, so number 4, you get backlinks, right? A lot of people talk about how the guest post, the great thing is you get backlinks. You get backlinks from doing podcasts as well. And you get a chance to promote your free offer and build your list. So in fact, most podcast hosts are actually happy to list your full bio, include all of your social links and anything else you want to share. But when you guest blog, you usually get one line either at the top if you're lucky, but more often it's at the very bottom of the article and you can only include one link. And so it just doesn't get a lot of attention. Oftentimes also you don't actually get to include your photo on those guest posts. And if you do, it's like this tiny little thing on a website. But with a podcast, they want your picture front and center. So they're sharing it on their website, they're sharing it in email, they're sharing it on social media, like absolutely everywhere, which is pretty awesome. Look, even Neil Patel, the ultimate digital marketing and growth guru, is talking about how we should all just forget guest blogging and go for guest podcasting instead. He makes the super important point, which I am saying is number 5 in this list, that when you do a podcast interview, the host is going to promote you all over their social channels, right? Oftentimes they have Facebook pages or groups, they have Patreon communities, and other places where listeners are super engaged and discuss the episode. So it's even more opportunity for you to really connect with the audience. They often usually share it in their email list as well. So they are actively promoting you and it's all for free, which is pretty amazing. And what's more is that these interviews give you a chance to forge a real relationship with the host, someone who probably does business with your ideal customers. They know other influencers in your space, and they could even be a really powerful friend and ally to have. Okay, since guest blogging is usually negotiated over email, you miss out on creating an actual relationship to anyone with real influence. And often, if you're pitching that to one of these big online news sites like Huffington Post, you're not talking to Ariana Huffington, you're talking to an editor. And so they aren't going to promote you on their channels. They aren't going to really talk about you, and you're not going to build a real relationship like you can with guest podcasting. Okay, and number 7, guest podcasting is way easier. You don't need to write, edit, or produce any content. You simply need to show up and have a fun conversation with a super interesting person who wants to make you look good. The best part about all of it is that landing these interviews, and yes, this is a bonus number 8, the best part about all of it is that landing these interviews is way easier than you think it is. Okay, with a little strategy, a little time to reach out to the host, you can start landing these interviews, building relationships, and creating that amazing content that gets you a big following. It helps you build a powerful personal brand, and it helps you grow your business fast because you are that expert authority. So if you want to learn how to land podcast interviews that build your authority, grow your business, click the link in the description and get my free guide to pitching to podcasts. There's also a link that will get you access to my absolutely 100% free training that will show you exactly how to land these interviews and get started expanding your influence. If this video was at all helpful, click the button to subscribe, click the bell to get notified every week when I release a new video, and please click the like and add a comment and tell me which of these 7 and a bonus 8 reasons was the most insightful and the most helpful to you. And excited to see you grow.